It's 22nd of June and welcome to round 13 of the 2019 Newstead Brewing Hospital Challenge Cup. It's our second Western Derby for 2019 and this afternoon we're bringing you all the action live from the University of Queensland St Lucia campus where UQ are hosting Wests. Today's match is a big one. Both the Bulldogs and the Heavies are practically neighbours, so Westside bragging rights are on the line. A win for either side could propel them as high as third on the competition ladder in what has been one of the closest competitions, with 7 of the 9 teams still in contention for finals. So sit back and enjoy Queensland Rugby's comprehensive coverage of Premier Grade with this and all other matches streamed live and free via redsrugby.com.au. My name is Martin Lippiett, and joining me in commentary today is Premier Rugby expert Raymond Veers and former Brothers and Queensland Reds fly half Dallin Murphy. Gentlemen, good afternoon.
Martin, good afternoon. What a great day to be out here at the University of Queensland. Beautiful afternoon. Should be a great day for rugby. Dallin, what do you reckon?
Same, mate. What a beautiful day. Crystal clear skies.
The subtleties up long. Well, we're going to start with you, Dal. You know, there's plenty of history between these two clubs due to their close proximity and because of how old and long you've been around, which is quite a lot. Can you recall a time in your extensive history when the competition between these two, you know, we saw West secure potentially 2 wins in one season?
Probably not. Obviously, like since my tenure,
4 score and 8 years.
UQ have always been very strong, and they always trade blows. I think it's either one apiece or probably UQ getting the upper hand. So the Battle of the West will be interesting today.
They always play well at home.
They
both
do.
Sides,
yeah.
Despite being
Bit
neighbours.
of a fortress. Yeah.
And I'll stay with you. You know, UQ had a great performance last week against South, and even, you know, we got earlier than that Bond the week before. Are we seeing signs that the students, you know, they return to their usual form? Late bloomers?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're getting a few key people back, and they're starting to get a bit of a wet sail moving into the finals. I think, for me personally, they'll be there and thereabouts come finals time.
Well, there's so many other teams that we can say that about at the moment because it is unbelievably close. And Ray, this West attack, it's one of the competition's best on its day, but it's struggled to produce their best week in, week out. What's it going to take for the Bulldogs to become a consistent force and be reckoned with in the competition?
I think the consistency is starting to come, but they're such a young side. It's typical of a young side trying to get their way through in this Premier League competition. It's a good backline. They're certainly showing a lot of intent, and I think they're going to continue to get better, and they're certainly going to benefit from a couple of the Reds players coming back into that backline this afternoon.
There are some sneaky additions that we're going to reveal a little bit later, but we'll stay with you, Ray. Both of these sides, they're fighting for a top 4 finish heading into the back end of the season. Do you think either of them have what it takes to, you know, play at the big dance this year?
Oh, both of them do. They're certainly coming on at the right time of the year. The University certainly picking up the pace right now at the back end of the season. Wests, they've shown consistently that they can put runs on the board. It's just a matter of making sure they close out games.
Well, it's all well and good, but we've got to talk to the people that are on ground zero. And ahead of today's match, our resident sideline reporter, Brendan Sauce Hotel, caught up with UQ stalwart Pat Murray. Have a look.
G'day folks, Sauce here. We're down at UQ tonight ahead of this week's match of the round between the Red Heavies and Wests. I'm here with Red Heavy stalwart Paddy Murray. Pat, this is the last time you guys played the Bulldogs. They put a lot of points on you over at Sylvan Road. How driven are the boys heading into this weekend?
Yeah, it's definitely been a pretty it's definitely been sitting in the back of our minds since that day. That was a pretty rough day for UQ as a whole club. Don't think we recorded a win over at Sylvan Road that day. So, the last few weeks we've been stringing together some good wins based on the work we've been doing here. So we're feeling a lot more confident heading into this one.
And mate, obviously last week's win over South, mate, was probably your guys' most complete performance. You guys looked the goods. What clicked last week?
Yeah, it was a really good performance. I probably won't go to far as say it was a complete performance because there's still a lot we need to work on. But I guess one thing we've been working on really hard recently is our defence and just sort of trusting each other in the defensive line and putting a lot of pressure in teams and sort of shutting them out of the games like we did to South last week.
And mate, one area that you guys have been challenging this year is the set piece, namely the scrum. Obviously last week you guys got a bit of scrum dominance. What changed last week in order for that to sort of change and provide you guys a platform to play off?
Just our attitude heading into the games. We are a lot more focused. We've been doing a lot of work here with Tommy Court, who played for us last year, and obviously Cameron Lillycrap. So we've got 2 excellent scrum doctors to work with. So the boys have just really been knuckling down, paying a lot of attention, and and the 4-pack, I guess, working as an 8, going into every single scrum. So, yeah, that's really been, laid the platform for our backs to do what they do. So, yeah.
Mate, you've had a few reinforcements in the backs in the last couple of weeks, mate. Kalala Meni's come back. He's been in good form. Brad Twidell back from injury. Alex Horan back from injury. Is it good to see a few more familiar faces back in that starting lineup, mate? Yeah,
it's good to have obviously Lala, Brad, and Horan back. Brad and Horan, they give us extra kicking options, and probably they're both like pretty experienced number 10s themselves, so they add a few more playmaking options. And Lala's just a solid defender, and like you saw last week, a solid ball carrier. So, yeah, and I guess culture-wise, it's just been good welcoming these guys back into the fold.
Yeah, mate, and as we approach the back end of the season, mate, you guys are in a position now where you can't really afford to lose a match if you want to make finals. Just how focused are the team, mate, on potentially cracking that top 4 at the back end of the season? Yeah,
I guess that definitely is a goal, but it hasn't been, I guess, a big focused. Obviously, we had a pretty rough. We had 2 good performances and losses against Brothers and Jeeps, and then we went down in a pretty bad loss to East. So we've been taking each week, sort of game by game, really focusing on who we're playing that weekend rather than worrying about what happens at the end of the season. And we've just really been enjoying each other's company, which I think was missing a bit in that first round of games. So yeah, we're excited. We're up for the challenge, and yeah, really looking forward to it.
All right, folks, obviously this weekend's Westside Derby between UQ and West is sure to be an absolute belter out here at St Lucia. Make sure you get out and support grassroots rugby this weekend. If you can't make it to a match, we've got you covered with all 4 games streamed live and free via redsrugby.com.au.
Brendan Sauce-Hotel always delivering fantastic content, and Pat Morey did get knocked out 10 minutes into that game in round 4. I think he's going to hope to get through the full 80 today. Let's have a quick look at the competition table or ladder, however you want to call it, and it is very close. Brothers and Jeeps comfortably up ahead, 45 and 36 points respectively, and then South, West, UQ, East and Bond. There is only 5 points separating them, and most importantly, UQ and West, 26 points to West, 23 to UQ. The win today will put one of them comfortably into the top 4. Who will it be? We're going to find out, but now we're going to get straight into the team list, and Dal, we're going to throw to you. Run us through the starting 15 for the home side.
For UQ today, making up the front row, we have Sam and Thomas Mellor, SJ Tamala, and in the second row we have Fergus Lillycrap and Ben Paxton Hall. Making up the back row, we have the experience of Adam Korchik, Patrick Murray at 7, and Sam Wallace at 8. In the halves, we have Jos Van Eden and James Dalglish. In the centres, TJC Cassini and Kalala Meni. And on the edges, we have Sam Edwards, BJ Oates, and young Brad Twidell making up the back.
Coached by Mick Heenan, and we're going to throw over to you, Ray. Run us through the visitors. Who's running on for West?
Well, Timoteo and Veo Manu come back from a stint in rapid rugby into the front row for West. Very busy back row of Lynch, Anderson and Maliko. Jerry Lynch, the skipper of the side. Moses Sorovi comes back from the red side. Carter Gordon will be at number 10. Filippo Dalguno coming back also from the reds. Henry Paisama in the centres. Cooper Whiteside will be at fullback, and they're coached by Pat Byron.
And we'll stay with you, Ray. Let's have a look at our players to watch, and who are we keeping our eye on from the Bulldogs today?
Today it's Hunter Paisami, the outside centre. He's been a revelation for West this season following his move north from Melbourne in 2019. With a brutal running game and the step and offload to match, Paisami has been a wrecking ball for the West Bulldogs, while his midfield pairing with fellow young guns Carter Gordon and Isaac Henry has been one of the competition's finest.
And we'll jump it over to you, TJ Cassini. Dal, he is a coke machine with legs.
Yeah, mate, he's been one of Uni's most consistent performers in 2019. He's charged for over 510 metres, beaten 49 defenders, and has his tally of 4 tries, including a double last weekend. He is going to be at his devastating best today for UQ.
Well, it's going to be a big matchup for him, because I think TJ Cassini and James Dalglish, they're going to have to really shut down Gordon and Henry, the ex-BBC graduates. Funnily enough, Henry, the 2016 graduate, he was in there playing at 10, and then Carter Gordon came through and took off the reins for the 10 position for BBC in 2017 and 18. So very interesting. You see those two coming through the ranks.
And, mate, they've been absolutely excellent this year together. I think that connection that they have has been quite superior in the competition, and it's going to be interesting to see how they go today.
Isaac Henry's been a dead-eye dick for the goal kicking this year. It's been absolutely sensational.
He's up over 90% in his kicking accuracy. He's on top of the point scorers right now as well.
And we are away. Round 13, match of the round. Newstead Brewing Hospital Challenge Cup. Brought to you live and free by redsrugby.com.au. University of Queensland hosting West. The second derby. Bit of taste in the mouth for the home side. They lost to the record score of the season, 70 points to 21 against the Bulldogs at Sylvan Road, all the way back when it was a little bit warmer earlier in the year. But now we're here. It's a wonderful winter's day. And big shots are going on. That's a great hit from Maliko. But we're into it. First scrum of the day, gentlemen. I would love to get your feedback. Singcho Tamala, a.k.a. SJ Tamala, as he prefers to be called, had a big impact last week.
Had a really good game last week against South. Really good. Got the University pack on the front foot. It's going to be a good matchup today between these two front rows. Wests are almost back to full strength. Should be a good contest.
SJ Tamala only finding his groove as a front rower last year, just decided, I'm going to do this. And got right into the thick of it. And he's obviously alongside the Mellor brothers, who over the past 2 seasons have followed here. Tom Mellor's in his second year at UQ, and Sam has come across as well. So a bit of a new look front row there for the Red Heavies. And they're up against Sioka Timoteo, who's back, wasn't present last week. Bart Ritchie in the middle, and Osatelia Vayamanu packing down for the Bulldogs. Van Eden at the back, fires to the right. There's Dalgleish. Dalgleish, short line to Sia Cassini, gets the offload back. Now they're going to keep moving to the right-hand side. Good run there from Twydale. Now Paxton Hall. Van Eden looks to the left. Dalgleish, good line from Tamala. Now to the left, Dalgleish. Here's Mellor. Thomas, that is. Inside ball. Shut down. Paxton Hall once more. Graduate from TSS and current Reds Academy. There's an inside ball to Tom Mellor. Now they move it to the right, but the ball's been lost. Great start by both sides, gentlemen. West putting on some good shots.
Yeah, they are. It's a physical game. You can see there Sia Cassini involved very, very early on with a heap of touches there.
Love seeing an inside centre working really well with his number 10, and he's just running inside and outside and
hitting some good holes, and he looks light on his feet.
It looks comfortable.
He does, yeah.
Comfortable.
And Josh Van Eden, nice and sharp out of half, some crisp passing.
And obviously late inclusions for the West Bulldogs. Reds halfback Moses Sarovi and Filippo Daungunu back in to the starting lineup. We romanticise about seeing great matchups, and obviously Tate McDermott still out with an ankle. Would have just been the reunion. The reunion.
Would have been sparks everywhere.
Spoke to Tate for the game. He says he's a couple weeks out with that ankle injury. I'm hearing good things also. But Ray, the scrum at the moment, mate, what are you making of it?
Well, they're feeling each other out right now. As you noted, University, a pretty new look scrum. The West's players are back from representative duty, so it's going to take a few scrums for everybody to sort it out.
Sarovi eyes it out, and there's the strike from Henry. Leading point scorer, kicks it right down the throat of Twydale. Maury They don't get him. Anderson will get his man, and Dearden was there. Oh, intercept might have been on. Twydale throws it behind the back. It's been cleaned up well. They're going looking wide, but it was never meant to be. The Kalalameni pass was hunting for Sam Edwards on the left, but couldn't find him.
It's good to see Brad Twydale getting his hands on the ball. A few really good injections there. The more he can kind of chime in, I think, the more versatile and exciting UQ will be.
Brad Twydale, formerly from Downlands School up on the range. His parents are out near Gundy. And they run a beef cattle property. And they stock the Wagyu. A good cut. Now Sarovi fires it out to the left. Good line from Maliko, the former league player. And the penalty goes against UQ.
Not letting the ball come back there, UQ.
They're really letting the pressure off, right?
Yeah, I mean, they had them right where they wanted them, down deep. West were going to have to dig their way out of there, but the penalty will relieve the pressure, should bring play up around the 40, 50-metre line.
And that wind today, there is a really light southerly blowing over the back of the students. You can see the teardrops on the far side of the field. It's a bit of a southeaster.
Definitely first man, just entry.
Brad Twydale trying to make some magic happen with the behind the back right-hand flick, but it was never meant to be. And it's our first line out of the day in the hands of Bart Ritchie, Padua graduate. He's in number 17 today, a little bit large for the number 2. Oh, that's a wild line-out throw into no man's land, but it's been scooped up well by Van Eden. Korchik offloads. Dalglish throws the dummy, met hard by Lynch. Captain on captain. Oh, loose ball to breakdown. Paxton Hall had no right to that one.
He's crawling along the ground. They're trying to playing the ball on the ground. Gone to the ground.
That was nearly as bad as Jackson Hemempo last night. That first try for the Highlanders disallowed. Double movement. You can't be doing that on the ground, Dow.
You don't see them much anymore, though, double movements, do you?
Only the brave.
All the stupid.
Well, we talk about that, and we can see right of screen there, those West coaches, they have pulled up residents about 30 centimetres from the dead ball line. Could wear one if they get if they're steaming through. Now Ritchie. His last one wasn't great. Floats one to the back, and Anderson fields it well. Now they're going to move it through the centres, and a pass from Gordon goes all the way into the hands of Kalalameni, who's making some good territory up the right-hand side of the field. Manny, he was a UQ Colt 1 on the Hallie Appleby scholarship a few years ago. Oh, and Twydale gets absolutely rickrolled into the turf. But the ball's been lost forward.
That was a bell ringer from the winger over on the far side there. Filippo Naguna just bang, sit down.
It's good you say that, because Dalgunu, you know, a lot of criticism, especially over the last few years, about his competency when it comes to contact and tackle time. But I think a bit of work with Brad Thorne, and he's looking the goods.
Yeah, specifically Peter Ryan. I think he's doing some good things in that contact zone at the Reds, and a lot of the boys have improved that facet of their game.
Filippo Dalgunu, we know how devastating his running game is, and he's looking like he's getting a bit of an attacking shoulder on him too, so good things. I think it's fair to say, gentlemen, the Bulldogs visually have the bigger pack going into these scrums at the moment. A lot of size, especially in the second row, with Rob Puliavea and Will Dearden packing in.
Oh, it's a good-sized pack. I was at the Brothers Wests game last weekend, and I got to admit, the Brothers pack is very big, very mobile, but the West pack played well in that game.
They did. Liam Mosley just shouldn't have given away that penalty at the end, and they might have knocked off the top of the table. Hey, Dal.
Potentially, mate.
The brethren.
That's a horrible word, potentially.
Not when you're Dal and you're a big fanboy of the brethren. But aren't they having a wonderful season, sitting up the top? Almost definitely think we're going to see them at finals time
Yeah, you would think so.
with Jeeps.
Yeah.
And they're destined to meet in round 17, which will be an absolute blockbuster. Should be the
big.
minor premiership on the line potentially,
A
the
few
Wellsby,
cups, yeah.
the Pewter. Someone's walking away with a fair bit of it. Right now it's Western Derby. UQ hosting West. Anderson at the back takes it. Driving mauls in the hands of the captain Lynch. It's spinning and boiling the maul. In the middle is Sam Mellor. The Bulldogs driving their way forward. They're going to go over and it's a try. We'll have to see who comes up for air, who got that one. And a great try there for Wests in the middle. So West first to score. They're in the lead, 5 points to nil with a conversion to come. And let's have a look at this driving maul. Wasn't the prettiest driving maul, gents.
No, it wasn't. It was a little disjointed. Uni got on the back foot here, though. West were able to maintain pretty good strength, and it looks like one of the props.
It was Bart Ritchie.
Bart Ritchie, the hooker, gets the ball down. It was they persevered. They kept it going forward. They kept a little bit better structure than Uni could defend. They get the first try of the game.
Well, the first opportunity West had inside opposition 22. They've managed to come away with a very important try. And now on screen kicking, he's our competition leading point scorer, Isaac Henry. Bit of a pathway player there at Wests. Came up through the Colt system. And now he's hunting for his first conversion of the match. He strikes. And that's why he sits up the top. He'll find the extras and Wests move to a 7 points to nil lead over the home side, UQ. We'll make a special mention to Bilcorp, major sponsor of UQ, for their long-term support of the club, Grassroots Rugby. Special mention to Metal Projects, major sponsor of West, for their long-term support of the club and Grassroots Rugby. The restart from Dalgleish, it's high and it's shallow. Oh, and it's come off good for Edwards. Sam Edwards has picked it up. Now Paxton Hall runs it up the middle. Now Wallace. Wallace shrugs off one. Strong run from the number 8. Van Eden. Dalgleish fires it. There's Sia Cassini. Gets another offload back to Dalgleish. Now Murray out to Mellor. He's got Edwards. Edwards. Great technique from Mellor. Really loaded up on that pass to Edwards. Good to see from the front rower. Mixing it up with the outside backs. Now Wallace once again. Oh, throws the underhanded offload. Backwards is the call. Murray will clean it up. Now to the right. Paxton Hall sells it. That's a big dummy for the second rower. Now advantage to the students for the knock on, and the forwards mixing it up well. I beg your pardon, not for the knock on. I think it was Moses Sorovi, hands in the ruck.
They're looking like a different side, though, UQ. I think they're looking sharp. They're getting some good phases together. A little bit more go forward, and I think they'll start to be a little dangerous.
And we saw this, even we could say this with Brothers in 2016. They didn't have a great start to the season, but this time of year, if you've got a shot to getting to the finals, it's just about getting a ticket to the big show. And once you get there, and if UQ are improving like this, Dow, do you think they could be danger time?
Almost definitely. They know how to win, though, don't they? They know how to win, you know what I mean? Probably great titles, and they know how to win games in those tight experiences. So I think they're definitely a danger moving forward.
Now it's a driving maul. West had some success with it up the other end of the field. And it looks like they've turned it over, and Sorovi's pulling away on the left-hand side, tries to get the offload to Down-Gunu.
Oh.
Penalty. Yellow card there, straight away.
Intentional knockdown of the ball here. Dalguna had
It was pretty obvious.
the ball just waiting for him, and that wasn't going to happen.
And that will hurt the students' efforts. They are down to 14 men. As BJ Oates leaves the field.
Thanks, mate.
You're welcome, Dal. Now, Sorovi fires it out. Short line for Lynch. Gets hit hard by Morrie. Gordon. Oh, and that's a great line by Henry. Isaac Henry throws it onto the boot. The chip is on. It's a foot race. And the bounce was unforgiving. Sam Edwards will clean it up. Dalglish pumps it downtown, but he was passed back to from outside the 22. Now Gordon fires it out. Here we go. Twinkle toes down. Gunu on the left-hand side. Puts the wheels on. He's going hard. He gets around one. That'll be Sia Cassini. Gets an offload back to Anderson. Anderson goes down West, showing phenomenal continuity. Oh, and Lynch on the back fumbles it. He shouldn't have eaten that popcorn, and it's going to be a scrum for the students inside 22, avoiding danger.
It's some enterprising play there, and Dangunu, like, just every present, just nice and sharp. He gets to the outside. And what about this ball back on the inside to Connor Anderson? Just shows his specialty, and then flicks it back in, and they're quite unlucky not to go on with it.
Can I just highlight that from the get-go when he received the ball, it just didn't leave his right hand. Like, he just holds it in that big mitt. And the confidence to do that.
Absolutely. At top speed, mind you.
Yeah. And defending and taking on two defenders. Be humble. Now, scrum time. Students still down to 14 men. BJ Oates sits in the naughty box.
Back it up.
An advantage, Sorovi being a bit hasty there, interfering with Van Eden. Now the students, they do have the penalty advantage, and they'll take it.
They're going to take this later penalty for the side entry here, so they'll have about a 10, 15-metre advantage on this kick to touch.
It's been an interesting game, Ray. We're seeing both teams showing a lot of proactive attacking stances and formations. What's been your view of the game so far?
It's been pretty even. You know, West got off to the good start. I think University, when they run those inside passes, West's last weekend against Brothers were susceptible to the inside ball with the hard runners on a hard angle. So they're going to have to make sure and clean up that defensive area.
And set piece didn't execute the right way, and Connor Anderson's given away another penalty, interfering with Van Eden. He's having a hard day in the office, the little halfback from South Africa. Now Dalglish goes himself straight into traffic. Twydale hits off the left. And that was a great hit and rip from Maliko, but they'll bring it back for the penalty that Connor Anderson gave away there.
7 entry.
So West piggybacking Uni down the field with some penalties.
Yeah, West will have to be careful here. That's a couple of side entry penalties against the West forwards. Any more of those, the referee's probably going to want to have a chat with Jerry Lynch and put an end to that.
That man riding the bone, BJ Oates. Quite a surname, wouldn't you say, Dal? A few of the Oates boys getting around. One of them over with the under-20s right now. The junior Wallabies going up against France tomorrow afternoon. How exciting is that?
It's going to be a big game. I think they'll come away with a win, hopefully. Be a great injection for Australian rugby.
We've done such a wonderful job, and the coverage has been sensational. Now, here we go, running away on the right-hand side. It's Lily Crap. Good continuity. Mellor goes through. Paxton Hall clears out. Here's Morrie. Morrie goes hard and fast into Lynch. And that's a maul. Jerry Lynch has done sensationally well to hold up Pat Morrie. And that ball is buried in deep like a tick, and it was never coming out.
Great choke tackle there from the West forwards. Got in up high. We're able to prevent the player from Morrie from getting down onto the ground. It's going to be a turnover ball. West scrum. They're right down deep on their try line. The set phase has got to be good.
Yeah, like you said there, Ray, great work from Emmanuel Maliko and Jerry Lynch. Maliko, former league player. He made the code swap. And Jerry Lynch, the former Rockhampton boy. He's played NRC the last 2 years. And, you know, Pat Morrie's a pretty tough cookie, but I don't think he was going to have the weight advantage over those two from getting down to the ground.
Absolutely not. Very smart, Jerry Lynch. And he's obviously been a standout this year for West. I think he's a key for them moving forward.
Can have a chat with the referee too, James.
Smart footballer.
Yeah, it's been quite the duel this afternoon between these two sides. The score sits at 7 points to 0. The visitors in the lead. And don't we forget, West, last time this fixture occurred back in round 4, a devastating win, 70 points to 21 against the students. I'm sure it's left quite the bitter taste in their mouths for the last 9 rounds. Now Sorovi on the left-hand side gives it to his old mate Filippo Daungunu, who shakes off one, but their other friend Adam Korchik decides that I'm going to stop you from going too far. Now from the back. Maliko looking dangerous. Sorovi fires it out. Here's Richie, who is put down by Tamala. Now Gordon fires it out to the back. Here's a good run from Pasami. Pasami, formerly from the Melbourne Rebel extended squad, has a good run against his opposite. Kalala Meni. And some big hits going there on Isaac Henry. I want to rattle his cage today. Gordon. Great toe from the young man. Straight up and down, but Twydale's there. Here goes Twydale. Sizes it up, throws the chip in. He's going through. Sorovi cleans it up very well. Now he's running on the left. Korchik does not have the wheels. He gives it to Daungunu. Here's Siakasini with some good wheels, but he's not going to be able to catch him. An offload goes to the ground and lost forward. And Filippo Daungunu is unlocking the left-hand side of the field for Wests.
It's opening up out there. Unfortunately, they're not being able to get the players in the right position to finish it off. 2 passes have gone astray. Here we see the kick through, but great roving there from Sorovi. Sets up the play on that left side. And Daungunu, and look at the big man coming across.
Siakasini. That would make me stop and change directions because you'd hear those footsteps coming on the inside.
Makes you think a little.
Yeah, it'd make you think about physics, right?
There's no stopping it.
It's just physics. And, you know, Filippo does want to be in the middle of that. Because all it's between, you know, he's got the tartan track on one side and TJ on the other.
Physics. This I understand, Martin.
Are you a physicist?
No, but I understand
No.
getting a certain amount of mass in motion.
I thought you were about to say muscle there, right? I was going to say steady up there, fella.
No. We all understand our limitations.
Now Van Eden. Now Sorovi. He's been a nuisance at scrum time on Van Eden. This time it's clean. Here's Siakasini. Siakasini gets taken low. West have done their homework. Now Dalglish in the pocket for the exit. And it's a good touch from the number 10.
Really smart play. Gets him out of their end zone. Nice, clean exit. It's exactly what they need at this point.
Well, they've been up there in zone quite a lot this half so far, Dal.
They've been probably unlucky to not come away with a few points. I just think they need to execute a little bit better. And the same as West. They're just pushing a few passes and just a bit of execution from both sides.
Hype is real. Hype is real. Quick ball the front from Richie. It's clean to Sorovi. There's Gordon. Now Lynch. Lynch through the middle, and he wanted to offload, but Isaac Henry just wasn't quite in the right position. Good line by Paisami. And Sorovi getting in there. Good work from the halfback. Now Lynch goes himself. Maliko fires it to the left, hits via Manu. Oh, and the ball's been lost forward.
Knock on green. Red scrum.
A little loose this afternoon in the breakdown areas, West, on the ball retention.
They have given away a few scrums inside UQ's 40 metres something, haven't they, Ray?
Yeah, they've had great attacking opportunities, and they've gotten the early yards have come pretty easy for them, especially down that left side. But it's just that finishing that's preventing them from putting more points on the board.
Well, that man on there, we certainly know he can put on some points. Isaac Henry is our competition leader for points, and it's really interesting not to see Jake Strawn or James Dalglish sitting in first for the first time in
Forever.
Well, in live stream history. And now a penalty going against the Bulldogs.
You're fine. Tip your fine.
And Australia via Manu being reprimanded there for some incorrect binding form. And now the students gifted a golden opportunity to attack inside West half, because it's been 24 minutes, boys, and Uni, most of the time they're getting into West side of the field, it's usually on the back of a West error.
Yeah, correct. I think Ray made the point earlier on. West are carrying them down their end zone. A few, soft penalties. Need to kind of sharpen up there.
BJ Oates makes his way back onto the field, full contingent. But the students have seemed to be okay. Running with the less numbers on. Korchik cleans up a wobbly one, but they're going to come back, and now it'll be West with the scrum.
Yeah, a little bobble in the line out there from Uni. He got up for it. It was a good contest at the front of the line out, but the knock-on took place, and so we're going to have a scrum down West with the feed right on their 40-metre line.
Great day out here at the University of Queensland St Lucia campus. Western derbies, local derbies are always a great hoot. And Dower, the north side, Battle of the North right now. I hear there's a helicopter.
Yeah, apparently there's a helicopter organised by Green Beacon and North.
Do you reckon it was an actual helicopter or just like a drone?
Nah, proper chopper, mate.
Proper chopper. A proper chopper. Get to the chopper.
They're dropping off the ball and the cup. So it should be an interesting day out there.
Hope they don't drop it early because it could wreck the cup. And Dalguni cops a bit of a seatbelt there, and they've got the advantage.
Penalty advantage.
Now Sarovi. Gordon, crossfield kick. This is very enterprising.
Gone forward. Oh, man's back here.
And it was a fantastic attempt there from Liam Mosley, the Nudgee graduate. Also was in the wider Brumbies squad last year, but he looks like he's twisted the ankle on the land. And I dare say, boys, that penalty that Mosley gave away late in the match last week, they could have been looking at a draw, maybe that win, but it definitely opened the game up for Brothers to come through and snatch it.
Yeah, that was a tough one because that was the gap where Brothers scored that try in extra time to give them the victory over West. That was a tough one for the West guys. I actually spoke with Pat Byron about it earlier today, and they were gutted about the loss. But there was a real feeling that he was telling me about that they can compete against Brothers. They can compete against all these teams.
Bond beat Jeeps last week. Jeeps seemed to beat everyone. So I think this year, in a lot of ways, really close competition for the top 7 teams. They're showing that on their best days they can beat one another. And now out the back door is down Gunu, who says no thank you. Goes right up the middle, gets an unbelievable pass away to Henry, who gets chickadee checked by Brad Twydale. Now, Anderson gets driven back. At the back is Maliko. Sarovi goes to the right. Filippo Daungunu has thrown himself into the middle of the field. Surprisingly there. Now West just slowing it down a bit. In the middle is Gordon. Fires it out. Anderson is met by Mellor.
Quite the battle they're having.
Oh, and the ball's been lost through it. Through the middle, and now they're going right-hand side. Korchik. Oh, Gordon! One of the best hits of the day. Carter Gordon gets Korchik dead to rights, loses it forward. And now the advantage has been lost from kicking it away. But that is a great play for territory.
Yeah, Cooper Whiteside's that up perfectly in face, and he's put West in a really, really strong position here. Obviously, hopefully they can win the throw.
Unbelievable that hit, though, from Carter Gordon.
Yeah, on a big man as well.
We're talking about getting to the chopper. Carter Gordon just flipped the chopper upside down. What a great hit from the number 10.
I think that's been a really, really positive part of his game this year, is his physicality. Obviously, coming in as a 17, 18-year-old, it's a tough, but he showed that he's quite physical and doing a great job out there.
And UQ getting a short arm. You don't see that one all too often at this level. The numbers, copping the short arm for the numbers, but
now that's a silly mistake from West, just not counting the numbers there. In a good position deep into Uni territory.
Well, it shows that even at the highest level, textbook stuff can get you done sometimes.
Absolutely. One of those things. And don't get me started on restarts.
Richie now, ball in hand. Oh, it goes long. And Viamanu cleans it up. Now Maliko Somehow the ball is offloaded. Here's Henry. Henry guarded. Darts through the middle. Now Sorobi. Moliko. That's another pesky offload out to Gordon. Now Gordon tries to light it up, but he's stopped in the process by Wallace, and the penalty goes against Sam Mellor. Andrew Twist doesn't want a bar of it.
Stay on your feet. One round.
Believe it or not, it's only 7 points, 0 here to the Bulldogs. It's been a very tight game, and this will be probably one of the better attacking platforms that the Bulldogs have had in the last 10 or 15 minutes going up the line.
It's a huge opportunity, I think. 10 minutes to go in the first half. They get another try here that'll really kind of take the wind out of UQ sails.
Yeah, West have been able to tidy up their lineouts. The first couple were pretty poor. And then finding the target now with Richie with the throw.
That's not going to help the cause.
Take it back.
Ooh. Pat Murray nearly flies through it, cleans up Sam Edwards. Now up the middle is Paxton Hall. Into the pocket. Dalgleish thumps it on the right, but he's not going to find touch. Good take there from Mosley. Links up into the middle with Whiteside, and now they're looking on the left. Oh, and that is a great run from Pasami. Runs it heavy back into traffic. Now Gordon looks that left-hand side, finds Timoteo. Sorobi. Here's Lynch. Oh, he's got Dearden with him. Richie gets the offload to Puliuvea. Now, the offload is good to Carter Gordon, and a knock on. Just feel like these defenders, they're all waiting for their opportunity at the moment, because there are some good hits happening at St. Lucia.
It's Sam Edwards this time. Just great read off his wing, and bang. Picks up Carter Gordon.
Welcome to Premier Rugby. I dare say it, Carter Gordon, he'd probably be one of the younger players out on the field, gents.
He'd have to be one of the youngest, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
First year out of high school.
Barely 18.
Doesn't look out of place, though.
Which is impressive.
Yeah, he's been sensational this year for me. Leading the boys around the park really well. His nous as a 10, I think, is, 5 or 6 years ahead of where he's at.
And when you see the pairing between him and Isaac Henry, it really unlocks that potential they've got outside. Like, you're seeing players like Pasami and Daumunu and Whiteside, they're able to really actually do something in the game.
Yeah, I think Paisami's been exceptional for him as well, but I think the space that, Carter and Isaac Henry are providing to him is allowing him to do his job and be exciting as he is.
Outside. Yeah.
He's not afraid to make a hit either, which I really enjoy.
That's really one of the highlights everybody talks about, his attacking ability. And there we see that tackle again from the winger Edwards. Good stuff.
Edwards was just waiting. He was like, "You're going to wear it, mate."
But Carter Gordon's toughness is proving to be a real value.
Oh, and this is a big moment, and that scrum penalty goes against the Students this time. West coming up with it. What do they do here, gents? Hunt for 7, or are they looking to take the easy 3?
I don't know if it's an easy 3.
Hey, we're talking about the competition leading point scorer.
I think
There's something in his water.
They're going to punch it into the corner and try to put the try on through the rolling maul here. And that'll be right on the 5-metre line. West with the throw in. Best opportunity for scoring sits early in the game.
We've got to ask, gents, I'll ask both of you. West have been in this similar position half a dozen times, now only come away with 1 try so far. Is it good defence, or are they being their own worst enemy?
I think it's a bit of both. I think West are being their own worst enemy and pushing a few passes. They're just going to have a little bit of patience, build a few more phases, and just be really direct in their play.
Clean to Dearden in the middle. They pack down for a driving maul. It's what got them across the line the first time. It's been driven forward and lost in the process. So UQ really upping the ante when they needed it most, and they stay alive.
They do, and they're doing a good job of it.
They didn't contest that line out. and they just made sure that their defensive structure at that defensive maul was properly set. It was set well, and they were able to keep the West players, the ball carrier, up, couldn't get the ball back, and that's how they got the scrum feed to Uni.
Absolute disruption.
It was well executed. Really good defensive line-out maul there, right on the try line.
When we look across the benches, they're about to come for these sides. They're going to play a big role as we go into the second half. We'll take it back now. Van Eden. It's at the back. Oh, and they're getting a nudge on the students. And they get a penalty. And that's the first real dominant penalty that we've seen from a scrum in this match.
Outstanding scrum from Uni there. Right on their 5 metre line. They really got the shunt going forward. West front row buckled. Now Uni will be able to clear the pressure once again from deep in their territory thanks to a penalty.
Well, you got to look at what's driving them from behind, and it's obviously former player coach, but now just coach Tom Court, who does a lot of work with the scrum in the background. And young Sincho Tamale, who's back from a stint in Belgium, and brought a big impact to the scrum last week against South, and he only started scrummaging in the front row last year. So he's having a big impact.
Mr. 4! Offset! Off your feet.
James Dalgleish just got manhandled to the deck, and there is a massive crash ball from Fergus Lillicrap. Brisbane Grammar School graduate alongside Pat Morrie. Different years, mind you. Now to the right-hand side. Here's Manning. Now they're going. Twydale. It's hit hard and put into the dirt by Daungunu. But knock-on advantage was over, so now it'll be a West scrum. A few hands on knees out there.
Yeah, it's kind of end-to-end stuff, isn't it?
And, well, I did ask, take the 3, go for the 7. And, Dal, you've been in these situations a lot of so many times. How important is it to take points and show a bit of respect to your opposition?
Yeah, for me, I think you do take the points. You know what I mean? I think you take it when they're on offer and you start to build a lead, you start to build a little bit of pressure, and when you put the pressure back on the other side, they start to make mistakes, and then kind of it starts to come your way a little bit more. So I'd love to see the team start to build some points on both sides.
That man on screen, Brad Twydale, having a big game from the back. Alex Horan, late omission from the starting 15 for UQ, and they've just milked another penalty from scrum time. Definitely finding some ascendancy here, Ray.
Yeah, this is another great scrum. You see the scrum going up there. Really good work from the number 1, Sammy Mellor. Got position on his opposite number, was able to bring it up. They got the shove forward, and going to receive the benefit of the penalty as they go for touch. You'll see the line out set with the University throwing in 10 metres out from West try line.
Well, definitely the body shape inside runs through the Mellor family. It's good seeing the brothers side by side. I'm sure they don't agree on many things, but scrummaging is at least one of them. Now, it's fired in. Oh, Chick holds onto it. Somehow ejects himself from his own driving maul and repacks onto the back. Now the driving maul has got some momentum from the students. It's out the right-hand side. But Henry Twist is called foul. Side entry. So, big opportunity. Probably the first time in about 20 minutes the students have been inside the West 5 metre line.
Yeah, and I'd like to see them pack down a scrum, have a dig at that, and then hopefully come away with some points. It's a great opportunity for them. We've got 4 minutes to go before half time. If they can get 7 points here, kind of locks things up.
Well, they run in a few, and wow, fortune teller. I guess, and the other side of this is they've put enough pressure on this West scrum inside the red zone. You know, it could be more than just a try on the cards.
Yeah, potentially.
Pardon the pun.
We've seen it a few times this year.
Van Eden puts it in. Here we go. They're marching. But I think this one is just fallen in completely on itself. Ray, we're seeing a lot of good push coming from this close side. Sam Mellor is really working over Ositelia Vaiamanu.
He really is right at the moment. It's strong, it's powerful. What he's doing is getting that early position on him, and then the second rows are doing actually a great job for Uni right now in backing that shunt up and getting him that first meter.
See,
they only need to get that first meter, and then things are in trouble.
And he probably needs Timotheo on the other side to try and give him a bit of equilibrium, because we're seeing it's very one-sided at the moment.
Yeah, it's pretty tough right now. West guys are going to have to dig in here. The scrum goes to ground once again.
And the field's in pretty good condition. Like we're seeing, we know that a few of the fields, by the time we get to this end of the year, they get a bit haggard, and they're begging for a bit of a break. But the ground's bumping here at the University of Queensland. They keep the field in pretty good nick. They are definitely chewing up the turf over on the far side.
It's critical time right now. We're coming into just the last couple of minutes before halftime. The West forwards are going to have to dig in here and make sure that they don't make a mistake.
And Eden throws it in. Now they've got the advantage now. Wallace gives it to Van Eden. Van Eden, the little man machine, gets the try. Jos Van Eden. One man against very big opponents. I'm counting at least 3 loose forwards and a halfback, and Ross Van Eden has spun his way into the opening points for UQ. Let's see this replay. That'd bring a tear to any halfback's eye. Run us through, Dal.
Obviously just a great scrum, and Van Eden just gets the advantage and has to dig himself off his right foot, and just supreme strength, good body position, and absolute fight and grit, and bangs the ball down. I think he's been really good today for them. He's been sharp. He's been under a lot of pressure from Moses, but he stood up and he's come away with a key try there for Uni.
Well, we did see Moses Sorovi was putting a lot of pressure. You could almost argue too much pressure, and he gave away a few big penalties down inside their 22. But Moses has backed off a bit now, because I think he knows that Andrew Twist is keeping an eye on him.
Well, you have to remember too that Van Eden was a Wests player.
Yes,
and
he was.
He was an understudy, sort of worked with Moses Sorovi the last couple of seasons. So that's a little bit of just honest to goodness payback here.
And look at that, bounced off Jerry Lynch. He has pirouetted with Will Dearden on his back, and Connor Anderson just came along for the ride, and now it's all tied up, 7 points all. James Dalgleish probably doesn't like having his title taken away from him. He finds the extras. So it is 7 points all here at half time. What a massive first half it has been between these two teams, gents. We'll start with you, Ray. West really had many opportunities, but they're only sitting with 7 points.
That's the problem for West right now. They've ended up this game all locked up at halftime, but they've had many opportunities to put points on the board. They didn't cash enough of those in. Maybe the door is now open for Uni.
Well, Dow and the students, I think they were pretty patient with it. They've waited, and we know how important those last-minute points are before the half-time. What do you think we can expect McKean's going to say to them at half-time?
I think he'd be pretty pleased. I think they defended really well in their own line. I think when they got down there in that last little bit, they showed some good patience and came away with some points and showed a bit of resolve. So I think he'd be pretty happy with that ending, and then just get out there in that second half, play a bit of field position, and get back down there.
Well, let's talk about what's yet to come off the pine, gentlemen, and we'll start with West. Obviously, late additions. We'll see Liam Dillon and Callum Hicks as potential run-ons, but I'm more interested in the front row. Rowan Webb, Hunter Thomas, and Prince Tuglioma are coming on as the substitute front row. Now, how do you think, Ray, that's going to come up against the likes of Cam Flavel, Chris the Beef Train Nielsen, and Pat Papulio? Pat Papulio, mind you, probably one of the most seasoned front rowers in the competition. And, he's a bit of a delicacy now. You'll only get about 20 or 30 minutes out of Pat.
That's the thing. But he's been there. He's done that. He's got that experience to close out games. And that's going to be very important for Uni at the back end of this match. The West players, not quite as experienced, they're going to have a job to do against what is really a university pack in ascendancy.
And we have the wonderful opportunity, gentlemen, to have a look at what's happening around the grounds. And let's have a look how it's all playing out across the land. Now, these are in real time. We can't check 100% sure right now if games are exactly on half time, but we're going to get a good feel for it. Holy smokes! Dallin, would you please like to talk to me about the score in the top right hand of the screen?
26-0 to North. I think it's a big day for them today, and they're always very much up for it. And it's always a tough place to go and win. So I don't think it's unexpected.
This is the second week where I'm seeing a lot of unexpected things, and Ray, I'm going to throw to you with what sits below. The Magpies are up 17-7.
Well, that's tough because GPS at home at Yoku Road, they get big crowds out there, huge following, and that's a tough scoreline for the GPS side. South taking that one, and that's just a tight, close tussle between East and Bond.
And you got to see, obviously, East and Bond 14-10 over at David Wilson. The Tigers do play well at home, especially with the third half sitting on their very favourite position, throwing some quite heavy banter. So this is the second week in a row, gentlemen, where we're seeing scores at halftime, and can't wait to see what they're at full time, where it just shows how close this competition is. I think Brothers and Jeeps did pretty well in the opening 9 rounds, and they're going to comfortably ride that through. But geez, those other 5 teams that are nipping at the heels, this is going to be terribly tight. And let's have a look. If we kind of progress this through, we see South potentially jumping up to 30 points. Right now, West and Uni will stay where they are, maybe 25 and 28. But if East and North get these wins, ooh-wee.
It's exciting. It's really exciting. As you said, like 7 teams moving into the finals, and it's a key time of year. As you said, the first half of the season doesn't really matter all that much now. It's all about these key games moving forward.
Well, it is half time here, and we are going to take a short break. It is 7 points all between the home side UQ and the visitors West. It's a Western derby, and we're going to be right back with all the action, so don't go anywhere. And welcome back. It is still half time here. UQ up against West. It's 7 points all. It is a much different scoreline to the last time these two teams met, all the way back in round 4 here at the University of Queensland. It is shaping up to be a marvellous afternoon, and we're about to go into it. My name is Martin Lippi, and joining me once again is Raymond Veers and Dallin Murphy. Gentlemen, welcome to the second half. We'll just go straight out of cannon. Dal, what have UQ got to do to, one, take the lead and come home with the chocolates?
I just think they play a bit of field position, play down west end of the field, don't do anything kind of out of the ordinary or stupid, and just be really physical in their approach.
Ray, the Bulldogs, if they want to go 2 from 2 against students this year, what are they going to have to do to pull ahead and get the win?
Well, they've got to take advantage of their opportunities. They certainly had 3 or 4 real good scoring opportunities in that first half that they did not cash in. And they're going to have to tidy their ball management up, and if they can do that and finish off the good work that they start, should be in good place.
Now the middle, Andrew Twist taking care of proceedings.
Okay. Going left. Okay, time on.
And we are away. Second half action, round 13, 2019 Newstead Brewing Hospital Challenge Cup. UQ hosting West. And right now it's 0-all, practically. Nah, it's 7-all. That's what the little coaches say to all little boys after their halftime oranges. Now there's the strike from Dalglish. Dalgunu. Tackled well by Maury.
It's there. It's there.
Anderson's at the back. Into the middle. Vaiamanu is brought to the ground. Now Sorovi looks to the left, looks to the right, but he goes to Gordon. Oh, big floater from Paisami out wide. Gives it to Liam Mosley, who's been very quiet in the game thus far. Turnover is good. Here we go. TJ Siakasini 1-on-1. Whiteside never had a chance. Sorovi brings down the big boy. But it might have been a tad high. Van Eden gets the offload. Here we go. Mellor straight up the guts into Lynch. And that was getting a bit messy like dog's breakfast.
Another turnover there from West out wide. Well executed by University. They were able to attack the short side. Looks like they got one of the West players down injured.
Oh, I think that could be Emmanuel Malika. Yes, it is on the ground. He's grabbing at that right knee now. Which is what you don't want to see. You never like seeing injuries, but he's got good care out there at the moment. And I believe it's a penalty advantage to the students at the moment, Ray, but Emmanuel Maliko just does not look like he's in a good way. And now Jerry Lynch is getting called over. Let's hear what.
It's not an ideal situation because he's down injured, but actually in the tackle what's happening is that a red player so it's mitigating circumstances. Whoever swinging half of him, okay, he's connected straight to the net, so put him in the car. So it's against 8. Okay?
Yeah, and just reflecting on what Andrew Twist said, during that sequence of play, Emmanuel Maliko has engaged in an activity that's merited him being carted off the field, but he's got a bit of an injury cloud over the top of him now, so he'll be leaving the field. And as it goes, Dal, I believe West will have to be a player down for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's an interesting situation, but
I've never seen it before, actually.
10 minutes down, so it's like Harry Higgins is warming up on the sideline, but he's going to have to cool his jets and wait 10 minutes.
I know it's just the way it has to be. It's probably the most brutal injury send-off you can have. So
He looks okay, though.
he's moving well. So the Bulldogs, Emmanuel Maliko for the swinging arm across TJ Siakasini on the left-hand side of the field. We'll see West down a player for 10 minutes. Not the ideal start. They could have all they wanted after a well-played first half. But now the students, numerical advantage up front. They're 6 metres out. And it's taken very clean by Paxton Hall. Driving Moore's been engaged. They're keeping it in tight. It's at the back with Mellor. Tom Mellor's there. Mellor's driving through. Mellor through. Just short. And Eden offloads. Sia Cassini. Carter Gordon just has to hold on to him like a backpack. Now Mellor. They're ploughing through, looking. And that's a try. The students are there. Big work from Sam Wallace. Ploughing through the defensive line.
Really good construction there on that series of phases. They set up the initial maul off the line out well, and they were able to pick and drive. The big centre getting in amongst it all, but it was the forwards who were left to do the job. And the try is scored right off the edge there. Good execution from Uni. They did not make the early mistake, whereas Wests did with that turnover. They paid the price. Uni take the lead.
Now it's Dalgleish hunting for the extras. He strikes. And like he has done many times before, he gets the flags. So UQ take a lead early in the second half, 14 points to 7 against West here for our West Side derby. Now back to the middle. And Henry puts some snow on it. That's up high, and that's a wonderful take by Paxton Hall. The box from Van Eden, fielded by Daungunu, who slips off one. He's met well. Maury is having a really good crack at that, but the second man was there in the form of Dalgleish. I think that was unlucky for the captain.
Yeah, I think he was a bit unlucky. He's saying Dalgleish didn't roll, and I thought he did a very good job of trying to get out there. But Pat Murray's been very present today, and it's good to see.
And we talked about that early. Pat Murray, I think it was about 9 minutes into that first game, he got knocked out. And Pat Murray plays a huge role at line-out time. And even though he's not a very old guy, he is mentally one of the oldest players in this uni side with such a huge wealth of playing experience.
Absolutely. He's obviously a large key to what they're doing, what they're trying to achieve. And
wonderful form over the top of that breakdown going for the Pilfer. Anderson. Now the driving maul.
Oh, there we go. You take it down.
And that'll be a penalty potentially going towards West. No. Ben Paxton Hall, the Southport School graduate, current Reds Academy member, has pulled off a little bit of a miracle up the middle of that ruck. Maul, I beg your pardon.
Paxton Hall's been very good this afternoon for the students. We had a situation there where the ball would go to get to ground. Once the ball got to ground, though, West with possession, the Uni Pack through Paxton Hall were able to drive over it and actually gain the ascendancy in that loose phase. They've got the scrum feed.
Down. Jos Van Eden. Ball in hand. Uni have the numerical advantage at scrum time. Wallace has just got to hold it in, and he's doing a great job. There's the penalty. Now Uni really going to make West bleed, having the man down.
The extra man in the pack there. You can see the Uni forwards just taking charge of it. It was released at the back there, but the penalty was already given. They'll kick for touch.
Both these sides going into today's match, both with 5 wins apiece and 6 losses. The only thing separating them is the scoreline that West put on them in round 4. Now Van Eden fires it all. Dalgleish, great hand, scoops it up from his bootlaces. Sia Cassini, built like a front rower, runs it up in the centres. Paxton Hall met hard by Lynch. And the maul was called, so Paxton Hall's going to do everything he can to get this out.
No, let go. Your feet.
Van Eden goes. Van Eden. Oh, that is not the best pass, but he'll recover. Oh, wowee. That rang the tower, and I don't think they've seen it. Now, Maury from the back. Maury, good wheels, runs it heavy into contact. Oof. Oh, and James Dalglish said, why not, sir?
Yeah, hold on.
I think Pat Maury there is in that contact. I'm not sure what he's hit. There's a bit of focus on the front of his face.
We had 2 high tackles in our team, okay? They've hit the chest, they're both falling, okay? We have time. Yeah, 100%. Okay, so that's why I'm not going any further. We can't have that, okay? So quick time to talk to him, please.
Really interesting there. I don't know what Twist said. Is a couple of high shots have come here, and we're going to see what happened to Pat Maury in a second. Oof. Jos Van Eden. So they did see that one.
Gets straight back up to his credit though, Van Eden. Tough young 9.
Hey, scoring tries against 4 forwards at a time. In 10 minutes, going to be 7 forwards at a time.
A little bit of a lack of discipline right now creeping into the West game. That's going to be a problem moving forward.
You actually prompted my next question, Ray. We're seeing a West side that have, in a lot of ways, been unchallenged in a lot of games this year. Are we seeing, there's a bit of pressures being applied to them now? Are the wheels wobbling?
I won't go so far as to say that, but they're going to have to tidy things up just a little bit here because they've already got a player in the naughty chair, as you said.
And now
to do that.
And there's Mellor peeling it out from the driving maul attempt. Van Eden pumps it to the left. Here's Korchik. George Queensland Reds player. Now Maury, he's okay. Maury's charging through. And he's lost the ball. It's been stripped off him. Sorovi from the back. He's pressured. He's got to smack it off that right boot. And he finds Twydale lurking. Twydale passes it one out. There's Oates. Oates hasn't had too much of a touch. Ooh, and he's having a good touch now. Nearly takes out Andrew Twist, the referee. Now, the show and go from the front rower. Always a treat. And Van Eden's lost that one at the back. So it's been an intense 9 minutes of play here from both sides. We're seeing a lot of good shots happening, Dal. The scoreline still 14-7.
The physicality's certainly stepped up, but I just like the way UQ are playing. They're playing down here. They're being direct. They're being patient with what they're doing. Although we've seen a few errors, I think they're probably on top a little bit here.
Well, the yellow card that affects Emmanuel Maliko will be in effect for at least another 2 to 3 minutes. Unsure if he is returning to the field. He did leave the field looking a little wobbly in the legs, but we'll wait and see. Now it's scrum time. And the students get the penalty. And once again, Ray, Otatalia Vaiamanu, he is having a hard day in the office against Sam Mellor.
That's where the problems have been largely this afternoon for the West front row. You're just getting the better shove. They get that initial hit, bang. West players aren't able to accept the pressure. They get down, and that's just a straight scrum penalty.
We're seeing a bit of a recurring pattern here, gents. How long before a card can be given away?
Well, I think we've got some players warming up there for West. I think we're probably going to see a few changes in the front row. They're going to have to defend very hard here, as we saw in the last try by Uni. They set the maul very well. Their pick and drive game got them over the line.
Mellor fires it out, but it's snatched away by Connor Anderson just when his team needed it the most. Oh, and Paxton Hall with no feet on the ground trying to claw over that maul. What an image, and now a penalty's given away.
You're good. Here's the roll.
Great work from Connor Anderson to steal that line-out ball. penalty comes to West, they'll be able to relieve some pressure here. And they've been on the burner for the last 5 minutes here from Uni.
A bit of deja vu from the first half, gentlemen. UQ narrowly escaping in their own inside their own 22. But I believe because that didn't actually leave the field of play, is that going to be a UQ line out?
No, I think UQ touched it.
Bummer.
Got to get out there.
In any event, yeah, the UQ player looked like he touched it, but it was a penalty to West, so it's going to be West throw-in more than likely in any event.
Thank you.
Multiple balls on the field. Oh, and the trick play to the front. Anderson was completely unmarked.
No, move. Get on your feet.
Now the Bulldogs, Puliavea. Sorovi. Ritchie runs heavy into traffic. Sorovi yelling at his players to get around. Big shots happening now to the left-hand side. Anderson goes down 6 metres out. Quick and go from Dalgunu. 5 metres out. They've got the penalty advantage. Sorovi fires it out. Carter Gordon, crossfield kick. Running onto it out wide. Oh, mid-air collision. Twydale comes away with the goods, but Mosley will miss it once more. And they'll bring it all the way back to the other side of the field. Great work here from West, really turning it around with the small opportunity they had at the other end of the field about 90 seconds ago.
Yeah, nice little trick play there. Connor Anderson finding some space. You always like to see that from the forwards.
James, we've got to clear that tackle.
They've got a huge opportunity. If they can come away with some points here, obviously it's a close game, but allows them to get back into it.
Big throw here for Bart Ritchie, former Padua graduate. Out the back, Anderson. The danger man line. They give it to Lynch. Lynch is driven back into the heap. And West will lose that one. That was a huge tackle by fresh substitution. Pat Papulii, welcome to the party, big man.
He drove him right back into the pile. Made it easy for the choke tackle to be executed. Good work from Uni defensively. Ouch.
I don't think Jerry Lynch was anticipating Pat Papulii. Fresh leg Pat Papulii right in front of him.
Whacked him, eh?
White line fever's a dangerous thing. And he's back on the field. Manuel Maliko. Fit and healthy. Raring to go. Van Eden throws it in. UQ. Wallace is doing a wonderful job at the back now. Van Eden goes, kicks for the lineman. He'll take the penalty. We're seeing a continuation of that scrum dominancy.
Again, just Uni have got the better of them up front, and that's where they're getting an enormous amount of penalty play out of it, relieving the pressure from down on their goal line. It's going to be a long second half here if West can't get their scrum together a little bit more positively.
So Pat Papulii is on the field for Sam Mellor. Oh, and a loose liner once again. Connor Anderson has been cat burglar at line-out time. Come away with some fantastic steals. Now, Pasami got that one started on the right-hand side, and he gives it to Henry, who wore a stiff shot. Now Paisami, there's Ritchie. And Pat Papulii has come out of the gate swinging this afternoon. Now to the left, Pasami goes himself. Pasami splits it, finds the space. Gets taken low by Twydale.
Leave it 9, leave it 9. You're on the ground.
And that's good leg drive from Daugunu.
Get out there, 12. Get out. It's there.
And Liam Dillon's in the party now at 9. Dillon, Paisami, he wanted a player to be there.
Advantage. Got it. Penalty advantage.
West have a penalty advantage. Inside 40. Ritchie spins into that one. '57th minute of play.
14 diving on the player on the ground.
And BJ Oates diving at the player on the ground. And the last question again, gents. Look for 3, go for 7.
I think, probably go to the line out here. Get a bit of dominance.
How impressive has Connor Anderson been?
He's been really,
Line
really
out
good.
time.
Very impressive with a few steals, a few good runs.
He's everywhere.
He is playing some exceptional footy.
And another substitution coming on. Cameron Lavelle. Line out taken well by Dearden in the middle. Now West showing a bit of form, a bit of structure. Get their drive going forward, and Paxton Hall is all arms through the middle, and he's got his hand. No, he doesn't. Dillon pulls it out. Here's Gordon. Gordon, great line by the outside centre, Hunter Paisami. He had been waiting all day for that one.
He certainly has. Those outside backs haven't seen much ball pull in the last 20 to 30 minutes. It's all been up front. But Carter Gordon sums it up beautifully and throws a really, really nice pass. You can see here Liam Dillon gets out, draws a few defenders in, but just holds it up beautifully. And an excellent line by Hunter Paisami. It's what he does really, really well and very strong through that contact.
So, with a conversion to come, we're looking at it being all tied up again, and we've still got north of 20 minutes remaining in this match. And Isaac Henry, he'll line up in the middle. A bit of a quieter second half for Henry.
Yeah, I just think those boys probably haven't had as much ball as they would like. It's been played up front from both sides. The outside backs haven't really seen much ball. So I think it'll start to open up now a little bit. Hopefully we see some enterprising footy. It's been a good game.
And there's Henry finding the points. It's all tied up. 14 points all here at the University of Queensland as the Red Heavies host the West Bulldogs in a Western derby. It's been brewing since round 4 after West blew the hinges off the competition and beat Uni by 50 points. Now we're back to the middle. Dalglish. Oof, what a take by Dearden. Dillon hits Ritchie. And the penalty's given away. Can't have a go when that many bodies are in the breakdown.
Well, it's very important right now that West consolidate those points they just scored. They had a really nice re-catch start from Will Dearden. They got the penalty now. They'll be able to force the issue, take play back up into the Uni half of the field, be able to build from there.
This way. I'm sorry. Are we good, Brett? Boys, we've got 21 minutes to go.
Substitution coming on for West. It's Joe Steed.
Sorry, still waiting, sorry.
And also Callum Hicks. Beg your pardon, Harry Higgins in the number 20 jersey.
I'll call him back
And
on for you.
looks like Callum Hicks has also entered
7
the field
and
as well.
replacement hooker not rolling.
And I believe referee Twist has just told James Dalglish next penalty someone's going to the bin. So, another big line out here. Ritchie fires it straight and true. And Connor Anderson does so well. There's penalty advantage once more against UQ. So West now with no advantage. Dylan looks to go himself, but he's wrapped up by Paxton Hall. Ball spits out for Gordon. And Gordon gives it to Paisami. Gives an offload to Henry. Dylan. Lynch. Hit hard by Flavel. And someone's down on the ground for the students. Dylan juggles it, holds on to it. Now to the left. Lynch goes himself. UQ are down a man in back play. Lynch is going hard. Now to the left. Good line from Henry. Now they fire it to the left. Here's Anderson. Anderson. They're going to keep going. Good line from Mosley, but he's shut down once again.
No clear league.
Dylan finds Anderson. Anderson lands on the 5 metre line. They look to the left-hand side. Henry goes himself, but he's short a metre. Dylan finds Anderson again for another run. Anderson unstoppable this afternoon. Now to the right. They're going to keep searching.
Let it go, let it go.
A lot of bodies in and around the post. Dylan fires it out. Pass goes to no one. And Paisami, it's the second no-look pass we've seen from him in this half. It's a bit of a coach killer.
That's a heartbreaker for West. They really will be building great pressure there. The idea was the right one because the winger out wide was unmarked. The defence had slid in. It was the right play, but the execution was poor.
I think we've got to keep our eyes there. Singcho Tamara looked like he was down in back play with cramps, I think, in the leg. They do have some more front row stock they could potentially tap into. They could see Sam Mellor come back, but could be an opportunity for West to try and fight back a bit on the scrum front.
Well, they just need to get parity at the scrum right at the moment. That would probably put a big smile on Pat Byron, the head coach's face. Uni have the feed of this scrum 5 metres out from their try line.
Fine. Hit it, miss. All 6 are in there, boys. We just have to have a gap. Both teams.
So, rejig front row there for UQ. Pouliot, Flavel, Mellor.
Fine. Set.
And Eden throws it in. And the scrum's boiling. It's moving. They've got the advantage, UQ.
Penalty advantage.
Now Sia Cassini, the paramedic, helps people every day of the week, not on Saturdays. He hurts people on Saturdays. Dalglish kicks for the exit, but they'll come back. And another penalty going against the Bulldogs at scrum time.
It's a good opportunity for UQ to get out of their end zone here and play some footy down the other end.
They've been camped down here for a while.
Yeah, it's been good enterprise and great play from West. They've looked really, really good. And as you mentioned before, Martin Connor Anderson's been in everything. And I think he's had a really exceptional game today.
Well, the sun is getting long here at UQ, and there's just a bit of a chill on the breeze now. We're all feeling it. Mostly Ray, because he doesn't have a jumper on. But we've still got better part of 20 minutes left in this, and it's all tied up. 14 points all, but it's going to be times off.
17 goal.
As we see a substitution here. Looks like Hunter Thomas in jersey number 2 will come to the fray, and Bart Ritchie's had a sensational game. Will leave the field, so Coach Byron looking to invigorate his forwards. Now, Sia Cassini. Dalglish, inside ball. Paxton Hall. And Eden. Dalglish inside to Maury, who runs through. And Maury once again getting caught up high. Wide pass to Oates. Oates. Hard running there by... Oh, and for Pouliot. Gets rung by Timoteo. Now Korchik fires it out. Here's Manny.
No, 11, get out there!
Sia Cassini once again finds himself in the middle of it. Paxton Hall goes himself right into Lynch. UQ grinding their way up the field. Here's Flavel.
No, 18, no!
Eden looks to the right. Inside ball to Sia Cassini now.
Move 4. Advantage.
The penalty advantage has been given away. Now Twydale looks for a flick of his own. Finds Kalalameni. Goes through. Throws an inside ball. Loose ball, but it's going to come back for the penalty.
No advantage.
Some great play there by UQ. It's really getting some nice phases, looking nice and sharp. Some big, strong runs there. An opportunity for the 3.
Here's a bit of trivia for you, gents. Isaac Henry actually played his first year out of school from BBC at UQ, and he actually helped them win a Prem Pulse premiership coming off the bench in a grand final. Had a stellar game, played with Kalala, Sam Wallace and Twydale.
There you go.
All part of the same team, and now he's back here. Have to shout out there to Cameron McIntosh, former UQ Rugby Club employee, who threw me that little tasty bit of info all the way from Hong Kong. Shout out to you, Macca.
He's flying up there, mate.
No, with the other 1,000 Australians that are all there.
Having the time of his life.
I'm pretty sure UQ just have I'm just going to start a new club over there. There's that many of them. They're just kind of transitioning.
Isn't it called Hong Kong Rugby Club?
Yeah. UQ Hong Kong Sevens. And they're taking to the field for UQ. Will Anderson. Number 22. Big Tim Mann's running the water at the moment. He's also on team rehab. Tommy, his Achilles isn't hanging by 1 thread anymore. It's hanging by at least 6. So he's on the way to recovery. You definitely feel that chill in the air now, gents. Anything on the field they'd be feeling it a bit too?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Off the river there.
I doubt it in the front row right at the moment.
Yeah, well, they've got players packing down on every side of them. You know, Hook is the warmest place on the field, Ray. Back in your heyday, Ray, where was your position of choice?
Oh, I gained some repute as the world's fattest fly half.
Nice. I like it. And Wallace is getting manhandled by Liam Dillon. Now, Sia Cassini has definitely found some late game fitness as the season's progressed. Keeps himself in the middle of it. Now there's Wood, another new substitution for the Shore, and it's a knock-on. And West have the knock-on advantage. They're inside their own 22. And Connor Anderson will take that one up. An impressive game from Connor Anderson. Still tied up, 14 points all here. Now, Liam Mosley just hasn't had some clear space and good ball to shine today, but this man certainly has. Sami, he'll find 10 metres on that carry with Pouliot bringing him down eventually. There's a bit of competition here at the breakdown for the ball. UQ putting the pressure on. Not a terrible result for the students. A scrum inside West 22. Good place to be.
It's a great place to be and a huge opportunity for them. Put the pressure on this scrum, hopefully come away with the penalty.
And that man on screen, Hunter Paisami, like we said, former Melbourne Rebels extended squad member last year. He's made the move up to the Sunshine State. And he's found quite a good little home at outside centre for the West back line.
Yeah, he looks good. He looks very, very sharp. Physical as well.
Leaving the field there is Sincho Tamala. So UQ now full substitution for the front row. Flavel Nielsen, the beef train, Chris Nielsen from Townsville. Played for Teachers North up in Townsville. He's on the field with Pat Fapulii. That's an iconic chin beard on both of them. I don't, you could ask who's got the better beard between TJ Siakasini and Chris Nielsen. Both exquisite displays. You could take a lesson or two, Dallin.
Need a bit of depth to mine.
On the short arm, going to the Bulldogs. Change of pace.
A little bit of an early shove there on from the new front row from Uni. Short arm penalty, so it'll just be a clearing kick right now for Carter Gordon. Send it as deep as he can.
He's not going to find touch. Now, the students begin their counter in the middle. Oates sizes it up, goes head on, and Carter Gordon, who followed his kick up wonderfully. Now Van Eden to the right. Great passes to Paxton Hall. Here's Wallace. Wallace going one-on-one with Higgins. Maury drives low this time. They're not going to hold him up. He's learned from his mistakes. Now they fire to the left. Loose ball and a knock on. So, big scrum opportunity here for Wests, just inside their half. It's all tied up. 14 points all here in the 71st minute of play. Both teams been incredibly even. We've seen a lot of rugby played between the 22s.
Yeah, we certainly have. It's been enterprising, but a few simple mistakes from both sides. I think it's made it quite difficult. There's no pressure
Connor
here.
Anderson having a real good shake of it there, just wasn't able to, and then the knock-on followed. Connor Anderson just everywhere this afternoon.
West need a quick heel here. Just get it straight to the back as quickly as you can. There you go.
Dylan fires it out. Here's Gordon. Gordon looks for the man out the back. It's Dylan wrapping around. Dylan goes himself. He's lost the ball forward. Sam Edwards wasn't the greatest position there for Sam Edwards with Liam Dillon somehow running into the back of him. But it'll be another scrum in and around the middle of the field.
And a nice little play there from West. Found the outside, got some great meters, but then just turned the ball over with not much pressure on them.
The Mellor brothers on screen. This UQ side still has a few players left to return. I think it's Scott Young, Tate McDermott, Jock Campbell to bolster the ranks. So with that on the horizon, a win today puts them in good stead as they begin their run at finals. And now a good scrum from the students. Here's the advantage, and they get it. The new combinations finally figured it out. And that one's been a long time coming in this match. And this could be a bit of a nail in the coffin for the Bulldogs.
Certainly going to be interesting. Last 8 minutes, playing with 14 men.
Well, 13 men if they want to pack scrums. They're going to lose a player.
That's true.
And it's almost a bit of deja vu from last week, Ray. That late penalty, all tied up. It's pretty much deja vu.
It's not the time of the game to be losing players to the sin bin.
Now, Sia Cassini barrels through about 4 or 5, but loses it, knocks it on. They'll bring it back. It's scrum time. It'll be interesting to see how they balance the equation here. I believe that's Rowan Webb running out in the 18 jersey.
Yeah, one of the loose forwards has had to come off here. It looks like Connor Anderson.
No, I think they've taken off Callum Hicks.
They've taken off Hicks.
All right.
On the right wing, and they're going to play with 6 in the back line.
Dylan puts it in. It's like you said, Ray, they're trying to get that thing in and out so quick.
UQ were going really hard at it.
Len Dillon's playing hot potato there with himself.
Well, it's really the only thing they can do here in this situation. They've just got to get it in and out as quickly as possible because this University of Queensland pack has really dominated up front in the scrummage.
They're gunning for them inside their own 22. It's like you said, Dal, they've opted to run the 6-man back line. Dylan fires it in. Dylan goes himself. He's on the right-hand side. Gordon making a play. Kicks for the exit. Good little self-line out there. Enterprising play. Pass back, finds Edwards. Here we go. Edwards on that left-hand side. Edwards. Oh, loose ball. And with 5 minutes to go, play moves back and forth from both sides. This is what you like to see, little...
Absolutely. I think it's Lachlan Sperling, is it? Yeah. Shows a bit of toe, a bit of smarts. Oh, no, Will Anderson, sorry.
He did well, Will Anderson.
They both did really, really well. And then just a silly pass here to kind of cap it all off, and just not needed. Just be smart play.
But another scrumming opportunity to come here for both sides. Liam Dillon's just got to get this thing in and out.
It's a UQ feed, I think.
It is too. I'll be dead. I'll be done. That one's not entirely clean, but would you believe it? West fight back.
Long time coming for the West forwards getting a penalty off the scrum. It couldn't come more timely as Uni were building pressure down there with only coming up on 4 minutes left in this game. Really is there for the taking. Which side could grab this thing at the end?
Well, the line-out legionnaire, Connor Anderson. It's a big opportunity for him. He's been sensational today. Line-out time. Let's see if he can weave a little bit more magic. And they go to the back to look for Anderson, and the ball has been lost. Just waiting to see which way he's going to call this one. Towards the students. 3.5 minutes left on the clock. It's all tied up. 14 points all. It has definitely gone to a different tune this time around as opposed to round 4. Both sides equally in contention for finals come August. And then again, so are 5 other teams in this competition. What a year 2019 has been. And Eden throws it in. The scrum settles. Now they've got the advantage. And then the whistle will go. So UQ have got to score here, gents. They've got to get some kind of points. They've got to get the 3. They've got to find 5. It's all going to come down to it.
They're going to go for touch here. It's a little bit outside of James Dalglish's range, so they're going to put pressure on into the quarter of West.
Of recent memory, Ray, I think the only bloke outside that 40-metre line that I can think of would be Nick Juster. He was about the only guy in the last few years that could nail long-range field goals, and he did. He was doing it from north over the halfway line. It was silly. Awesome, but silly. Silly awesome. We'll coin it. Line out. Goes well. Paxton Hall takes it. It's at the back. Van Eden's had enough. Gives it to Sia Cassini. Sia Cassini runs it into traffic. Carter Gordon's giving it everything he's got. But Sia Cassini, so much mass. Running up the middle now. There's Wood. Wallace. Met hard by Pulivea. Now to the right. Dalglish. Cut out, pass out wide. Oh, and Oates wears a bit of a knock there as he ducked into the tackle, but he's okay. Loose ball out the back. It's scooped up. Oh, bit of a seatbelt across the top of Anderson. It's coming down to the wire. 90 seconds remaining as the crow flies. Here's Korchik. 7 metres out. Long place from Wood. Now they fire to the left. Dalglish. Here's Sia Cassini. Sia Cassini drags Lynch over the 5 metre line. Now they go to the left. 1 minute of play remaining. The students really notching up the phase count. Wallace looks to the place. Right through the middle is Wood. Now on the left. Van Eden goes himself. Van Eden picks up the double. Josh Van Eden gets across. Big try for the halfback right at the death. You would have heard a pin drop in the main grandstand here.
Josh Van Eden, he's had a fantastic game today and comes away with the chocolates right at the end. 50 or 45 seconds to go.
I think we know who should be on Source's sideline this afternoon.
But they just showed some great patience, took their time with everything. Bit of vision here, throws the dummy, scoots over, and that's twice today. He's found some really, really good strength and a bit of smarts to find the line.
And credit has to go to West. They've been down a player.
Definitely.
Been down a player, 2 players for the majority of the last 10 minutes, and they have held this UQ attack out right until the bitter end.
Well, it's just an instant replay of last weekend against Brothers. You know, you lose the player to the bin. You're playing the last 7 or 8 minutes with the player down. You have to make those adjustments. University of Queensland showed great patience here, but then the halfback, Van Eerden, just saw the little space right off the edge of the ruck, ducked in, got the try.
Now Dalglish strikes it through, clean, and that is full time. And the students have found redemption, winning the Western Derby 21 points to 14 right at the death. What a fantastic afternoon of football, gentlemen.
It certainly was. It was a bit slow there towards that back end of this second half, but you know, it's UQ's credit. They stuck at it and found some patience and found the line.
It's fair to say that the penalty and the yellow card that came at the scrum, it was inevitable. In some cases, you could say it might have been a little overdue, but how much did that turn the tide of this match?
Oh, I think massively. You know what I mean? A man down, it's so hard to compete in those last 10 minutes. What about you, Ray?
The thing is that, as you said, that yellow card probably should have come about 20 minutes earlier because the West scrum was not able to absorb the pressure and the power of the University pack. And that really is the story of today. They absorbed it over and over, but at the end of the day, that forward pack from the University of Queensland got the better of Wests. They were able to score that late try, a double to Van Eerden, and University of Queensland come away with a really hard-fought final.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Josh Van Eden. You can't go past him. 2 crucial tries, and let's be honest, both times he took it to sizable defenders and he got the better of them. But I was really impressed with TJ Sia Cassini today. He really not only played a solid game at inside centre, but we saw him in and around, very active, doing the hit and runs with the forwards and giving them a lot of pay there as well.
Yeah, I think for him, he was always over the advantage line and always in everything. Showed some excellent speed and covered defending tackles and was outstanding today. And Connor Anderson for West was just super impressive. He was in everything, leading the line outs really well, I think he ran for maybe 100 metres and was in everything. Got a few turnovers. He was exceptional for West.
Well, we saw him there, Ray. He was looking for the pilfers. He was stealing lineouts. He was securing his own, and he did what any good loose forward's meant to do. He just was everywhere, and you couldn't miss him with that beaming yellow headgear.
Oh, and I think he got a couple of line-out steals as well. He is the primary jumper for Wests in the line-out. He's just such an all-round useful footballer on the field. His motor is huge. But that's going to be a tough loss for West. They've lost 3 in a row now. The losses to Sunnybank, they didn't play well that day. To Brothers, a heartbreaker. This is another very close loss. It's going to be very tight now. That was semi-final football.
Well, we have to talk now about what this does for the UQ side. That's 3 on the march for them. They've taken down West, Bond and South, all teams that have been in contention. If they keep this momentum going, they're going to start pulling away. They don't have to face opponents like Brothers and Jeeps, I think Brothers are coming up shortly, but Jeeps are at the very end. And let's have a look across the board. A nail-biter, and Bond have come away with the win, 18 points to 7. And it seems that the Gallopers are having a bit of their shine knocked off their Dow.
Yeah, it's interesting. They were close to being back at full strength, but I think South always going to be a team like UQ. They're getting a few players back from the Reds and Super Rugby, and they're going to come home with a wet sail.
And we look at Brothers too. Brothers, I think they might have got a bit of a kick in the pants at half time, because that's a very different scoreline to what we saw at 40 minutes, Ray.
No, we've seen this a couple of times. I think Sunnybank were leading South a few weeks ago, and then South just roared home as well. But Brothers, 42 unanswered points in the second half. A little better clip than a point a minute.
Well, it is a bit of a landslide. Let's have a look forward and see what matches are coming up next week. This season's getting really interesting now, gentlemen, and I'd like to get your opinions on how you think these matches might unravel next week. We'll start with our first matchup, UQ v Norths. Gentlemen, who do you think?
For me, UQ, they're going to be on a bit of a roll now, and I think they're going to be hard to beat moving into the finals.
Ray?
Yeah, definitely Uni in that one. They're going to get more players back. University.
Okay, over at Skyfleet, West against Jeeps.
Wow, what a tough one that's going to be. Ooh. To come up against Jeeps right now after having lost 3 on a trot is going to be a really big question for West. Can they get up over Jeeps?
But the bigger question is what I'm asking you, Ray. Who do you think's going to win?
At the moment, I'd have to give the favour to Jeeps.
Fair enough.
In a little better position.
Yeah, I think Jeeps will bounce back.
And Brethren in the bank?
Brethren straight up.
Brothers in that one.
And this is interesting, Souths and Easts.
I'm going to go with Easts. I think Easts are looking good. I think looking sharp. Jack Frampton back at the helm there. I think he's doing a really good job, so it's going to be interesting.
A little desperate right at the moment, both sides. East with the loss today. That'll be a tough one. I'm going to go Souths on that one.
Oh, I like a bit of controversy in the commentary box. It really makes my afternoon. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Ray and Dow, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I'm sure I'll see you, but everyone else will hear you sometime soon. Thanks, boys.
Thank you very much, Marty.
Great afternoon.
Well, it is full time here, and UQ have gotten their revenge, and bragging rights back. They've taken out a very late win in the second half, 21 points to 14, securing an important victory. Finals rugby is just around the corner, and there are at least 7 teams still in contention for the Hospital Cup this year. It has been an absolute pleasure having you here with us this afternoon. Make sure you tune in to all of the Queensland Premier Rugby social media coverage stuff coming through during the week. And we're going to be back next week with another match of the round. Same time, same place. My name's Martin Lippiard. Good afternoon.